to touch you in heaven. Are you a human being? When I look at Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter number 11, from verse 23, 2 Corinthians 11, 23, from verse 23 to 27. And Apostle Paul was speaking because he was provoked here, and he was talking about all his experiences as a Christian. When he was not a Christian, he didn't have these experiences. Life was sweet and easy. His future was glorious. He was bubbling in wealth. But when he became a Christian, are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more than them. If they say they are men of God, I am more of a man of God than them. In labors, I labor more abundantly. And strife, flog, they have flogged me without, you can't even count. In prison, I have entered prison for frequent, almost dying. I have had experience that almost killed me. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Yes, 24. Thrice was I beaten with rods, not cane, not koboko, rod. 3 times they flogged, beat me with rod. Someone say rod. Okay. Once I was stoned. 3 times I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I was just swimming in the river and the ocean for 1 full night and 1 full day. Oh, Makatali, brother Yasaka. Listen, maybe Akasa and brass people will understand that you are in the ocean, you are not sure, and in that dark, you don't know what is happening under you, or the dangers of the sea. 1 full day and half, enjoying often, in dangers of water, in dangers of robbers, in dangers of my own country, my own person, in dangers of my unbelievers, in dangers in the city, in dangers in the wilderness, in dangers in the seas, in dangers of false pretentious pregnant, 27, in weariness and in painfulness, in worship often, I am often having like preaching, in hunger, in thirst, in fasting often, in cold and in nakedness, 28 the last. Beside all this that are without, that cometh unto me, I still have concern for the church. Now that who can say that he has gotten the experience of Paul in his walk with God? In all of these things, Paul did not one day abuse God. God did not one day say, I regret that I am a Christian. I regretted that I served God. Now let's fast forward to contemporary life. Now there was one woman in those days in Ogbia town. She was a businesswoman. In those days that almost all the businesswomen or business people are strangers who have shop in the market. She was the only native that has shop in the market that is competing with the non-indigenous. And she was a Christian devoted. One day, she had just returned from market, stuck her shop. And that night they had that there was fire incident in the market. So everybody run to the market. And lo and behold, among all the shops, it was only the shop of this woman that has been raised down by the fire. And the woman, because people think that she will faint, she will die, so they will run her. And the only thing that could come out of her mouth was that, God, why me? Have you been in a situation where you have answered? I have come to realize that if you have not asked that question, you are not truly walking with God. Because if you are truly walking with God, someday, somehow, you will come to the place where you will look at your life and the happening around you, and maybe you will be tempted to say, God, why me? My Catholic friend, Catholic priest told me that when they were in seminary, they also have a parish meant for those of them who are the seminarians, but there are few persons from outside who also could join, maybe because of proximity and all of that. So there was this family, a man, his wife, and two very beautiful daughters. They're a family of four. They used to come regularly, faithfully, in church. And one day the man was going to Onisha, and the car had accident. And the only person who died in the car was this man. And so they came and told the woman the news that the husband had an accident and he died. They are Igbos. You know Igbo tradition. When they went home, the family frustrated the woman and even pursued the woman with her children out of the inheritance of the husband. So there was nowhere for them to stay, nothing. So somehow the church, out of pity, arranged a place for them to stay. And put the children in school. And one day, these children were returning home from school in the school bus. A car lost brake and hit them. It hit them at the very spot where these two sisters were sitting. They were the only people who died in the bus. And the woman became like a mad woman. But sometimes, that's why I keep saying, don't be in a hurry to condemn Job's wife. Because sometimes you may be tempted to say, God, why? And contemporary Christianity among Christian leaders, we all know there was a woman called Duko Lukoya. The husband was a church founder like I am a church founder in Lagos. Bimbo Dukoya was one of, if not the best in Nigeria concerning marriage counseling. And we know the story that in the year 2005, she had a preaching engagement in Port Harcourt. Sosoliso airplane, they crashed and she died. The wife of a pastor, she a pastor. The man married again. And in 2021, his second wife, Nomti Odukoya, 2021, died of cancer. Now you ask God, why me? I am a pastor, I'm serving you. First wife, plane crash. Second wife, cancer. And in my ministry, people have been receiving healing. Apostle Paul says, poor, yet making others rich. Enoch Adeboye, we know, of all his children, mostly, fathers will want, if they are in a profession that they think that they love it so much, they will want one of their children to take over. The son that was coming with the grace and anointing of Papa Enoch Adeboye, everybody felt that this one has it. The pattern will fall on this one. Pastor Dare Adekoye. In the course of ministry, went to Calabar, had a program, powerful program, anointing flow. Went back to the hotel to sleep, he died. You didn't hear it in 2021. Who heard it? Thank you. So, where was God? God, where are you? There is a popular man of God called Lazarus Moka. He married first one, died. Married second one, died. Now he's marrying the third one. There are a lot of controversies. You heard it. Sometime, somebody say, pray for pastors. Okay, I tell you, they pray. 1996, Ayo Richard lost his wife. The one he's marrying is his second wife. William Kuwe of Deeper Life lost his wife in 2009. Sickness that he has prayed for others and he came to his wife died. Couldn't raise it. Reverend Papa Mokpa, who we just buried and the whole world was standing. His service of song was done in every part of the world. One day he was going for a crusade. His wife was so sick and the children were running around to take care of the sick mother while he was headed for God's business. Two of the daughters in a car run around for their mother's help. They had an accident, they died. They told him that two of your daughters have died in an accident. He said, put them in the car boot. When I finish crusade, we will come and then bury them. Omokpai has healed plenty cripple you cannot even count. He gave birth to a bouncing baby boy, cripple. So you will go to crusade, he cripple, come home. The person that will call him daddy, welcome, is a cripple. Somebody say, pray for pastors. Dr. Miles Morrow from Bahamas, powerful man of God. One day on assignment, himself and his wife in their private church, they crashed and they died. 2014. That's a man of God you might not know. He was a senior pastor in the Redeemed. Charles Ito, himself, his wife, and all of his children, they were in a car around Victoria Island. They had an accident, all of them. A trailer crushed them. It crushed them to pieces. So as a Monty, sometimes I have asked God, why will my two sons be involved in this kind of case? And in that period, Casey's pregnancy had a lot of complications. You know that she gave birth 2 CS. 2 times she fainted. Once I was even away on the same God's appointment when Casey did CS, and one of the days she died with mommy. You know mommy case. And mommy is going to hospital. Me, I'm going to hospital. All kind of complications. I am tempted to ask God why. Maybe I'm tempted. Mommy, maybe you are tempted to ask God why with all of these things, and you have been battling with BP for 18 years. With all this pain, your children, you are asking God why. And then I look at some of us here who are rightly sitting down here under the sound of my voice. And I remembered my cousin's wife, Sister Lomere. Definitely, you might be asking God why. It's understandable. I remember Sister Momo. You might be asking God, why me? I understand. I remember Sister Tokoni. You might be asking God, why? I understand. I remember Sister Ebie Victory. You might be asking God, why me? I remember Sister Eileen classes. You might be asking God, why me? I remember even Sister Jennifer Jaffet. You might be asking God, why me? I remember Sister Bokisba. You might be asking God, why me? You have all gone through some experiences that you felt shouldn't have come to you. Apostle Paul said, this thorn in my flesh, I prayed concerning it to God 3 times. The only thing God told me is that my grace is sufficient for you. Job 4:4. My grace is sufficient for you. Is it Job 14:14? Let me confirm. 14:14. Now, he had told me that, Monty, I will not bring to you a temptation that is too much for you to bear. Really, God? And he said, Monty, there is no temptation that has happened to you that has not happened to men. God, you are right. Because I have also just read the experience of men of God. And for most of them, my own has not even near half of them. Indeed, what is happening to Monty has happened to other men of God. As what happened to you happened to other people that you know in the society. And so you get to understand that when it happens, it's not because God hates you.